Hey everybody, just going to do a quick video tonight. Got some stuff on the go, but I want to make sure I say hi and talk about a couple of things that I promised I'd talk about in the last update. First of all, we're at 283 backers, so great to see. Over $14,000 raised in Canadian funds. So broke another threshold there, and really exciting to see that new couple of backers that have joined us. And we're below 7 days now, which means we'll start showing up on the campaigns nearing an end, and that tends to generate a little bit of extra interest. What I promised to talk about today was about growing awareness and growing community for Legends of Novus. They say in order to have a successfully funded campaign, you need to build your crowd beforehand, and hopefully some of you have been part of that for quite some time. Legends of Novus, as you know, began back in February of last year, and about 3 weeks after I got into the game design process, it became apparent that the only way to make it come to reality is to get people aware of it. And then so created all kinds of different things that I'd never done before. I'd never really been popular or involved in social media to the extent that board gaming has brought to my life. The first thing that I got more into was Facebook. I had a Facebook account for years and years, but really didn't use it beyond maybe once a week, just checking or scrolling through, but very rarely made any posts or did anything significant on it. So starting to get an idea of what groups are and joining Facebook groups was a big step for me, because it really wasn't I was involved in real life things, not in Facebook things, and met some amazing people that I only know digitally that I never would have known if I hadn't expanded into that. And from joining all these Facebook groups, particularly about game design, such as the Board Game Design Lab or the Tabletop Kickstarter advice, I've learned so much and been able to share my own thoughts as I grow. And now that I've been involved for a year, I feel that I can contribute to those communities, which in turn creates more awareness for what I have to bring to the table. So that was the first one, Facebook. And then starting a Legends of Novus Facebook group, which has about 150 people right now, or 140 people right now. That's kind of like the core people that are genuinely interested in Legends of Novus and want to get anything they can get involved with it. So even an occasional post once a week or something like that helps stay involved with that core group that's interested in what's brought Legends of Novus to life. The second group that I created was more broad spectrum, and it was called the Fantasy Board Game Companions. And so that's a group, if you want to join, you're welcome to look it up. But that is a group where any board games that you play that are fantasy related, I love to see what kind of things you like, the miniatures, the maps, the characters, the mechanics, and just share that all you want, because I love to see those epic stories. And since I always plan to develop board games in a fantasy setting, it'd be great to see what people like, and that's what that board game group is all about. The next thing I got more involved in was Twitter, and Twitter is something that I've had an account for years, but I think I only put out 2 or 3 tweets in my entire life, and I only joined it because of my full-time job, realizing that I should have presence wherever I can. Twitter now have about 140 followers from having 2 followers when I first began board gaming, and I know it can grow exponentially from there, depending on the quality of your tweets and whether you're tweeting about or with people of importance, because people that have influence tend to gain you more followers is what I've seen, but I haven't had a ton of followers gained from that yet. But really it's more about having another avenue to spread the word of Novus, or to spread the word of what I've learned about board game design or enjoying just board games in general. Sometimes I'll just put a post out about a board game I'm playing and take a picture of it. If you want to reach out to me on Twitter, I believe it's at Wes Woodbury. The next account that I started, again, specifically for board gaming, was Instagram. I'd never used or had an Instagram account before board game design, and so it was great to see how potentially visual Instagram is. I mean, it's all about sharing pictures and sharing experiences. So I've been sharing experiences, basically at least one Instagram post per day for the last year, just to try to stay involved and get a chance to see other people's Instagram pictures and see what's popular in the board game world by following all these different board game communities and contributors. So it's been really good to be involved in yet another social media blowout. And some people say Instagram is just as popular as Facebook, if not more so. An area I haven't really got into the other ones like Snapchat or Pinterest or some of those other picture sharing sites, but I think just trying to stay contained in is the ones that I'm most comfortable with and I feel are most relevant right now. The other one I got involved in was Reddit, and Reddit is a different kind of atmosphere where there's a lot more honesty to it and a lot more harsh feedback, and I found that particularly when sharing early concepts of game designs. You really got to put on that steel armor and make sure that you don't take some of the things that they say too personally. But either way, Reddit is an explosive community at the right moment, but it's also a very guarded community. So I found a lot of the times when I do try to post or share there, there's restrictions that end up pulling the post down, or there's commentary that doesn't always get taken the right way. So I'm cautious with Reddit as to what I post or how frequently. And then finally, there's the email subscription. So they say one of the best ways to make sure you're involved and people can stay in tune with what it is that you have to offer is through email subscription. And one of the recommended one was MailChimp. So I created a MailChimp account and started putting out links and contests and building up a following through email subscriptions, and got about 275 of those right now. And some of you may be part of that as well. So all of these different communities over the past year I've tried to put together and share and build and listen and grow, and that's all with the goal of having people come and learn about Novus in these different forums, and try not to over spam it, but also trying to make sure that I can share those high quality art images or share those cool new card graphics or the world map or the new location images, just everything there is to share. I love showing that fantasy to the world, and if that is attractive to them or interesting to you, then it might have been what brought you to Novus in the first place, and thought, wow, if the art is that good, how much fun could the game be to play as well, as or the mechanics as exciting as the art, and is the world story as cool as the images look. And hopefully you're finding that to be true. Again, you may see in some of the posts that the mechanics don't feel as deep as they might have been used to in games like Gloomhaven or games like Seventh Continent, but the game is meant to be more of a one-time fun get-together with your friends, play in a fantasy world, but enjoy it with beautiful art and with a great story as a backdrop, but not as a component of the game itself. And so that's a different concept that not many people are, when people post about things they don't like about the game, that's the most common one, is that they might be comparing this game to something that it's not trying to be. But anyway, I'm going off on another tangent. I just wanted to share with you what I've tried to do to build a community for Novus, and I will continue to work on that. I continue to put out a new Instagram post a day and new posts on Facebook or Twitter, or talk to the community, sometimes about my game, sometimes about their games, sometimes about games I've played. Whatever I can do to just keep getting more and more socially involved and share what I can of the knowledge I've gained. I've been helping people behind the scenes with how to use InDesign, or how to create card templates, or how to reach out to artists, or how to reach out to how to manipulate your rules. There's so many different things that I've been able to learn myself, and now I can share back with the community. So it's been awesome. The last thing I wanted to share with you was that I'm going to do a little bit of a revamp to the Kickstarter story page, or the campaign page. So for those of you that have joined and backed the game, I really do thank you for that. But I have heard the feedback from Jamie Stegmeyer in the post that he had. Heard some feedback from a couple of posts that you may have seen in the comments, or I've gotten some private messages as well, both on Facebook and through the Kickstarter campaign itself in the private messages, just talking about how now that they've read the post, or they've even separately they've seen the campaign, had some recommendations to include a little bit more about how the game actually plays out in the main page instead of having to go to the rules or watch my videos, and a little bit of commentary about how the font or the graphical layout of the Kickstarter is. So I'm going to take some time and some energy and kind of remanipulate and try to make something more visually appealing. And the reason for that is we're about to hit day 5 or day 6, day 5, day 4, day 3, and on each of those days there will be an increased number of people that will actually look at the campaign one more time before they decide, am I going to try it, or am I going to just say, you know what, I didn't catch my eye the first time and nothing's changed. And I want to make sure something has changed to show that I've listened to the best in the business, like Jamie, and to the backers and the people that may have left the campaign because they didn't see enough interest or growth fast enough. So hopefully you like what you see once that gets presented. I'm going to try to do the best I can to get it in place within the next 24 hours. But I want to make sure that when I put it out there, I put it out there all at once. I don't want to have mixed images of what it was before and what I want it to be now. I want it to go from what it was before and then flip it all over to what it is now. And if you like what you see, if you like the changes and the difference, I'll make sure I put a post in the comments to say, hey, FYI, updated. But obviously you'll see it if you go there as well. So let me know what you think once it's changed. Put a note in the comments saying, hey, I really like the older format better, or hey, great to see the new gameplay layout. And those comments, again, like I mentioned before, the more comments we have that talk about positivity and change and growth, the more inclined people that are new to visit the site might be wanting to join and pledge themselves, which will help you get Legends of Novus. Which is really the goal, is to get Legends of Novus out into the world. Okay, I've rambled on enough, going from what I thought would be a short video to a 12-minute video, but have a great day.